What's up, everybody? Since the last few weeks, a lot of people have been asking me this question: is TR to PR program coming back later this year? In some TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram videos, people have claimed that because of Motion 44, the TR to PR program is going to come back. So, what is this Motion 44? We'll try to talk about that in detail. We'll also talk about some of the statements and some of the hints that the immigration minister himself has given so that we have a better idea if the TR to PR program is actually coming back or not. So this video is going to be very interesting for all those people who are interested in this topic. If you're one of them, stay tuned. Okay guys, let's try to understand it from the very basics. What is a motion? So basically, you can think of it as an opinion given by any member of the parliament in front of the other members. And once they give that kind of a proposal, it is to be discussed among the other parliament members. And if accepted or approved, then it might need some work to be done by the government. That is a very simple terms I've tried to explain it to you. So similarly, in the case of Motion 44, this motion was presented by Randeep Sarai, who is an MP from Surrey, and this was for the purpose of providing the permanent residency to the temporary residents of Canada. Now this Motion 44 was presented back in the month of January 2022, around 6 months ago, and around 2 months ago, on May 11th, it was adopted or kind of approved by the House of Commons. Now, what happens next is that the Government of Canada, rather the Immigration Minister of Canada, has got 120 days to present a plan in front of the House of Commons. So in that 120-day time span which was given to the Immigration Minister, less than 2 months time is left now. So we can say that in next 1 or 2 months, we can actually expect a concrete plan by the Immigration Minister. Okay, now when we know the process, let's try to see what does this Motion 44 actually suggested. So it says that now the government would have 120 days time to develop and publicly release a comprehensive plan to expand the economic immigration system to allow workers of all skill levels to meet the full range of labor needs and pathways to permanent residency for temporary foreign workers, including international students with significant Canadian work experience in sectors with persistent labor shortages, and such plan should incorporate following elements. They've listed down some points there as well. I'll provide the link in the description box below. If you want, you can check out the text of the motion. But basically what it actually said is that there should be more pathways for the temporary residents in Canada, all those people who are working in some labor shortage areas, or maybe all those international students who have got some relevant Canadian work experience, to have a separate pathway for all those people so that they can get the PR pretty easily. Now, if you are a temporary resident in Canada and have some Canadian work experience, then of course there's this CEC stream in Express Entry for you. There are multiple PNP programs for you as well. But all of those programs have certain eligibility criteria. For example, for CEC stream, you need to have 1 year of Canadian work experience in the past 3 years. And similarly, for IELTS, you need to score CLB 7. For NOC 0 and A level jobs, it's not possible for everyone to score such good score in IELTS. There might be some truck drivers, people working in the agriculture sector who might not have very good English, but they're contributing a lot to the Canadian economy because they're working in a job which already has a lot of labor shortage. And during the pandemic, it was well recognized that yes, these people are so important. These are the frontline workers, and without them, it's not possible to for the average Canadian to survive. So during the pandemic, because all of those lockdowns were there, so this TR to PR program was thought of. Now this TR to PR program was a one-time program. Now please try to understand the difference here. This was a one-time program, but now we are talking about a permanent program. So this is probably a bigger news. People are thinking of TR to PR as some one-time thing. We know about it, so we are expecting that, okay, once again we might have something similar. Now earlier we have discussed about the mandate letter that was issued by the Prime Minister to the Immigration Minister, which stated that expand pathways to permanent residence for international students and temporary foreign workers through the express entry system. So of course, this was also in line with what this motion 44 has to suggest. Now, because this was adopted 2 months ago, I tried to find an update to what is happening around it, and I found an interview given by the Immigration Minister Sean Fraser. He said that we're looking right now at the best path forward to create a permanent residency for temporary residents, exactly what we have been talking about. But the interesting thing here is that he's quoted something about the motion 44. He said he's working under a tight 120-day timeline established in a motion approved by the Commons last month. He's talking exactly about the motion 44 here. Then he said that actually puts me on a clock to come up with a framework to establish this new permanent residency pathway, not just for international students, but also for temporary foreign workers. After that, he says that we are in the depths of planning the policy so that we can have a policy that's not driven by a need to respond urgently in the face of an emergency, but actually to have a permanent pathway that provides a clear path for those seeking permanent residency who can enter Canada. It's not going to be a pilot program, it's going to be a permanent program so that the international students and the temporary workers here in Canada would know that this is the path forward for them to get the permanent residency. So would the TR2PR be coming back this year? The answer is yes and no. And no in some good terms actually. Yes, because we are looking for a permanent pathway for temporary residents to get the permanent residency. And no, because it's not a one-time opportunity, it would be a permanent pathway, as I said. So of course, it is a good news for all those people. You should definitely be waiting for the announcement for the details that are supposed to come out maybe in the next couple of months. Having said that, some of the other points which are mentioned here in this motion 44 are actually very in line with what was suggested in the Bill C-19. I made a detailed video about that, so you can check that out. Okay guys, so that was all the information that I wanted to convey through this one video. Thanks a lot for watching the video. If you like the video, please click the thumbs up button. Please put your comments and feedbacks in the comment section below. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do not forget to click the subscribe button.